Hey Stampers, Kim from StampingImperfection.com. Welcome to my craft room. I want to share with you this year, at the beginning of the year, I started the One Little Word project with Ellie Edwards, and I've been enjoying it immensely, but it's morphed into something more for me. I'm sort of keeping a scrapbook of things that are happening this year, and I'm using the word that I picked. I picked the word journey because I just retired in December and we just moved in January. So that word has a lot of meaning for me. It seems like whenever I have big changes in my life, that word always finds me somehow. And it seemed like a great word for me to pick. Now, I'm doing this with stuff I had in my craft stash. Like, I'm pretty sure if you look in your craft stash, you have an album of some kind. This is an old Stampin' Up! Project Life album that I had, and I'm using a combination of things that I purchased from Ellie Edwards, from Concord and 9th, from 49th and Market, and old stuff that I had in my stash already. My goal for 2020 is to use things from my stash as much as possible. I'm retired now, so I'm on a budget, but this has become, I'm doing a combination of traditional scrapbook pages and Project Life, and then Ellie Edwards' One Little Word. So I'm using some of the things that she had. I'm doing whatever I'm in the mood for. It's almost like an art journal, but in a memory keeping way. So I'm just doing a lot of experimenting. And I also have a separate art journal that I've been using just to create and experiment, and like, these are things generally just for me, but I belong to the design team for the Challenge Yourself scrapbook challenge, and every month we have a theme. And that's how I got started with the Ellie Edwards One Little Word, because we were supposed to do that in January and I just got hooked. So isn't this paper beautiful? This is 49th and Market. I'm totally hooked on 49th and Market papers, and these gorgeous, I just have gorgeous embellishments and ephemera, and just beautiful. So I have been playing around with just doing things in this little scrapbook for now. And one of the things that I have to say, this page I made like 6x6, but this is a 6x8 album. So I've been doing some things. Some of the journaling parts have been, on pages like that, using the old Project Life stuff. And then this came from Ellie Edwards as a set with the, some of the, all the embellishments and stuff, and even some of the cards are from Ellie Edwards. So that's been kind of fun. It's been kind of nice to have that kind of stuff kind of pre-made. And then in the middle, when special things happen, or even when everyday things happen, I've been creating little pages, creating my own backgrounds. This is another one from the Challenge Yourself site. February was, choose your hero. And then I've been documenting our journey, setting up our house, and then we were supposed to make a collage of sorts. I made a very small one. I'm not a huge collage person, but I had some things I really liked. Then, just each month goes on, and then all hell broke loose. Here's another one of my Challenge Yourself. And again, 49th and Market, some of these beautiful embellishments are just gorgeous. I just can't resist them. And the papers are beautiful. And then of course I did a lot of journaling in March, because March, all hell broke loose. And when we finished the house, we were getting ready to explore, like, everything cut loose. So I've been creating this little journal, and I really am liking making the 6x8 pages. And one of the things that has inspired me to do the 6x8 pages instead of the 12x12. I'm just starting my May page here. And this is the one I made for the Challenge Yourself May page. But one of the things that really inspired me to start doing 6x8 pages instead of 12x12 pages, because it's easier to scrapbook a picture or two on a 6x8 page and punch it out. I have a little hole punch here that I bought, and I mean, I just had a whole box of these kinds of things that work in this album, so I decided I'm using that stuff up before I buy new stuff. And you know, I have a couple of these albums that I had not used yet, and I'm just going to use them and fill them, whether I use them for art journaling or whatever. But this page I created all from Vicki Boutin's line, and she just came out with a line called Let's Wander that is really pretty, and a couple of her other lines, like I mixed things from her lines because they just, you know, the different product lines that she has out, and I just loved it. This page I did not make myself. Now the other page backgrounds I did make myself, but this is mixed media paper that she's got with backgrounds. It's all ready to go. It's ready made. This page went together in minutes, like just minutes. And sometimes you need that. You know, like this month's goal is to take pictures of things that are going on this month and put them in my scrapbook, and I'm going to make some more of these little pages. So I thought I would show you a page as I do it, since it's National Scrapbook Day. Happy National Scrapbook Day. And we all have, or most of us, if we're scrapbookers, like I started out paper crafting as a scrapbooker, not a stamper, but now I'm doing all kinds of things. I'm using mixed media, I'm watercoloring, I'm using my Copic markers and my Altenew alcohol markers to do coloring and things like that. And I'm just enjoying all of it, because for me, one of the things I'm trying to do now that I've stepped off the merry-go-round of working and raising a family and doing all of that stuff, now that that stuff is, I'm over it, I'm trying to teach myself now how to live in the moment and live an intentional life, and, you know, really notice what's going on around me. So that is what I'm doing. And I have a picture of my daughter that I want to scrapbook today, so I'm going to do a little 6x8 page, and I thought I would take you along on my process. I purchased a couple of different Vicki Boutin pads. I have been using Vicki Boutin's White Foundations mixed media art paper for a long time for my scrapbook pages. She makes 12x12 packages, and it looks like this, and the pretty colors are really just the front. And this front piece, by the way, makes a great palette for your watercoloring techniques, so don't throw that away. It's pretty amazing. But this is really nice paper to create scrapbook pages on, because it's mixed media paper and it's very thick, so you can use watercolors, art crayons, all kinds of techniques that you need it to soak up a little bit of water. So I've been using that for a long time. She recently came out with this really pretty ready-to-use mixed media paper, and take a look at this. These are all pre-made papers that are pretty fabulous and super fun. So I've made my the other page that I showed you, I made with this, so I love it. It's got a little bit of a texture to it on the front, so I'm not sure how it's going to work for what I'm going to do today, but I'm going to experiment and we'll see. So I am going to use, I've got this picture that I want to scrapbook. It's my daughter. She bought a new car, so I was really proud of her. She did it, you know, without our help. She did a lot of research and she did her own negotiating, and she's very excited because she got to pick out her own car. So, you know, it's hers, she bought it, and I feel like that's a big deal when you buy your first car that's, you know, that you didn't, it's not a hand-me-down that you got for your first job or anything, or to get through school. It's your car. You bought it. You picked it out. You decided what you wanted. You picked the color. It's all about what you wanted. Okay, so this is the page I want to use, and I like the way it looks with this because I love the blue in the back. Like, I love the colors of the that she uses on this particular pad. Like, they're just so pretty, and I can see so many ways that I would use it. And I make so many backgrounds myself that are watercolor splash backgrounds that this is going to save me some time, but I kind of want to add some of my own touches. So I've pulled out a pile of things I want to use, like, and these are from, they're all Vicki Boutin products, but they're from several of her different collections. Like, she's got the Wildflower collection, she's got the Let's Wander collection, and so forth. So I just picked out a few things that I really liked. I did go a little crazy with my last order from Scrapbook.com, but I also got some free stuff. Always check the coupon button if you're shopping on Scrapbook.com. Click that coupon button at the top, find out what's on sale, what they're offering at very special prices, or even free, because especially on scrapbooking, National Scrapbooking Day or International Scrapbooking Day, they'll probably have something. Then one of the things are these that I ordered. These are stickers, and there were like 8 sheets of these stickers. So these are going to last me a long time, and I'm pretty excited. I found several that I like. I also got some washi tape, and I'm thinking that for the car one, I especially love the sunglasses, so that's going to have to get used somehow, but I think these are super fun. I love the floral. I've already used that, and I really love the black and gold wave. So I want to add a couple of details, and one of the things that I would like to add is I would like to add a little stenciling. And I think I love this stencil. This is a new stencil from her collection. It's just big flowy words, so I want to add a little of that. And I think I'm going to go ahead and use this polished color. And the reason I want to use a polished color is because I loved this. It's got very subtle images on the back, and it's got some print, and it says the story of the butterfly, which I really love this. And I actually want that to show, so I'm going to keep that in mind. But I want to add a little bit more of that reddish color. Now I've got a couple of, I bought a set of 2 Vicki Boutin stencil brushes, or, you know, blending brushes. I really, really like these brushes. This is very much like the first stenciling brush I ever had with my first stenciling class in 1985, and that thing just died this year, so I replaced it with this. The stiff bristles is just exactly what I was looking for. So I just want to do a little bit of this in this corner, so I'm just going to put some ink on the bottom, and I'm just going to stencil away. I want it to be kind of subtle. Uh-oh. Put that back in place. There we go. A little bit of washi tape helps, or a Post-it note even, helps so that doesn't happen. So there we go. Let's see what that does look like. Maybe I want it to be a little less subtle. Actually, and I'm surprised how well it's actually working on top of that texture. There we go. Pretty. So that gives me a very subtle little touch in the corners. This has now made it mine. Now I will take this, and I have a baby wipe. I'm just going to wipe this on here, a wet paper towel, and And I will actually take a little dish soap and put it in my hand and do this, and then I'll run this under water until I have it all cleaned off. So I like to keep my brushes cleaned, and sometimes I will put a rubber band around it while it's drying to keep it from puffing out, and I always dry them straight up. That's just how I was taught with that very first class that I took with Lowell Cornell. That was a long, long time ago. Now, one other thing I want to add is I feel like it needs some writing. It needs a couple things. So I have this fantastic background stamp from 49th and Market. And I thought this might be just what I need. So I'm going to use this. Let me pull out my Misty, because I don't know what I did with my super big background stamp. I'm not seeing it here. Hopefully this will work. I might have to get out my scrapbook one. Let's see if I can put this over. I don't want to bend it, but I want this to be a little bit subtle. So we'll try this. Okay, so, oops, just moved it. Shouldn't have done that. Habit. Okay, so now I've got, I just want a little bit of something on there. So I've got this blackjack ink, which is a darker gray, but it's not black. Okay, and this is a Catherine Pooler ink. Love Catherine Pooler inks. One of my 3 favorite inks. The others being Altenew and Distress Oxides. And one of the things I like about them is that they are scrapbook friendly inks, so you can use them in your scrapbook. Like, you do have to be careful with what you're using in your scrapbook. There we go. Ooh, that's a nice subtle little touch. So I've just taken that to the next level for myself and made it my own. Now I'm just going to go ahead and clean this up. Okay, that was the blackjack ink, and the corally pink ink that I used is polished. I'm just going to wipe my stencil off. I like to clean up as I go along. Okay. And one other thing I would like to add is I would like to add a little like floral or leaf image, and I really liked this one, and this one I can do with a just with a block, and I don't care if it doesn't come out perfect, just like that. I like to do some stamping in my scrapbooks because I have all the stuff and I want to use all this stuff. I want to feel like I'm getting my money's worth out of the stamp sets that I've purchased. Okay, and this is another 49th and Market stamp set. This one, do they have names on them? I don't think they do. Oh, this one's called In Between, and the other one, by the way, is called Ticket Express. And that was more of a background stamp. So that's pretty fun. Alright, so I'm going to move that stuff aside. So I've got a little bit of a base here, and I still want to add, I may add some black splatter. I haven't decided yet. There's a lot of splatter in here. So let me start by putting this down. Okay, and then I have the picture. I really like the story of the butterfly, so I kind of want that to show. And I found this frame that I kind of liked, so I thought it would be fun to include the frame. That, I love these little ticket things. There were a whole bunch of these, all different kinds. I like the gold, and I like the fact that it's a map and it's a car. But not sure. I'd save that for a different page. That seems pretty busy for the page I'm working on. So I kind of want, like, the stuff goes across like this, so I kind of want to use that in my layout. Wishing I'd put that flower over just a touch, because I really like the leaves on it. Staple all these things together. This is the Tim Holtz, I don't know, they don't call it a stapler. I call it a stapler. I don't remember what they called it, but I'm gonna kind of put this here. And I loved some of these sentiments. This makes me happy. That's how I feel every time I look at that picture, because what is there not to be happy about? Then go out and explore, get out and explore. I love that it's the blue, so it goes along with it. I like the colors. I definitely want to put one of these butterflies on it. These are fantastic. Okay, so I will do that, and it needs some more. Let me just put this down. I'm sort of temporarily putting things together here. And then I can locate it on my page. Okay, so I have that. Now, one of the things, I really like the tag, putting a little tag on my scrapbook page, but that one was too big. However, one of these little tabs might be great. So there's little tabs here. And I like this dark blue. Well, there's a lot of dark blue there already. Maybe I want to add some. Nope, I think I'm going to stick with the dark blue. Add that there. And I think I'm going to put a little foam dot under this to hold this in place. I'm going to move this down a little bit. I want it to fit on the paper. There we go. Just like that. Now, Let's see. What else? I have the washi tape. Now, one of the things I like about this washi tape is it's got some metallic gold on it, which I think is super fun because I wanted a little gold on the page. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of this up here and rip that like that. And then I'm going to put a little bit of it down here. And just put that down that way, just to give a little touch of something fun. Right, now I have some few things. I really like this Happy Travels. There's New Adventures, but I love the Happy Travels because I just picture that she's going to spend a bunch of time in this car doing fun stuff. And then there were some really fun little words. I'd like one more. Something new is pretty fun. Just drive. That's pretty perfect. There we go. And I'm going to do a touch of journaling. And the other thing I saw here that I really liked was, I already have a little tab. Okay, I have 1, 2, there's a little touch of pink in there, but I feel like I need just one more little pink touch. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I want to leave some white space on this paper. There, that's where I want it. Okay, and then I can add some more adhesive. I'm just going to take my journaling pen. Okay, I'm going to take a couple more foam dots and just place them in a couple places to adhere this down. I don't tend to put a ton of glue and stuff on my pages because it doesn't really take very much to hold it down. There. So now I took that background page that was all pre-made and I made it my own by adding a few touches with some of my favorite little tools and some of the new things that I've gotten. Can you tell that I just want to play with this? And I've added a few simple things and it's going to go right in my 6x8 album. Every page should have a butterfly. I really like this big one, but I think I'm going to stick with this small one. I'm going to put it right here. That blends in too well. Let's pick this one. I want it to stand out a little bit. Okay, these are so pretty. They have this vellum top. They have some gold. And notice that they have adhesive on the back, a foam dot on the back. And I like that little touch. Because this page is about butterflies, I wanted to use some butterflies in there. I've got some gold. Every page should have some sparkle. I've got 3 gold pieces. I added some of this sort of, I feel like it's a corally pink, this polished, Catherine Pooler polished. I've got some here, I've got some here, I've got some here. So I like that it's going around, and I've still used some of the dark blues that I can pull out from the page. I've added some black fun stamping. Who doesn't need some stamping? I've got a little tab, excuse me, very trendy, and some fun sentiments that I didn't have to stamp. I just pulled off the sheet. So that's going to complete my page. Thank you so much for watching. Stop by my blog at stampingimperfection.com and check out my Technique a Week video series. I've got 2 videos up there with different techniques, and I have printables for you that are available for your that you can download and start learning some techniques that are beyond the basics for stamping and paper crafting and scrapbooking. So thanks for watching. Give this video a like, share with your friends, and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell so you get notifications every time I post a new video. Thanks for watching.